Welcome to In the News with Double O Des. I'm Des Bernardo, giving you my perspective on news from South Africa and the rest of the world. In the news now, as I've said in my previous video, there is a miracle cure that has been spoken of now that's manufactured right here in South Africa, and it's manufactured by Eskom. And the headline is from Business Insider South Africa, and it reads, "Coronavirus breakthrough drug is made in SA and costs only 150 Rand an injection." So this drug has been used for some period of time for curing various other ailments, and the topics discussed in the article is that a cheap steroid has been hailed as a breakthrough treatment to reduce fatalities among severely ill COVID-19 patients. And at the end of the article, it speaks about the statistics and actually the success rate with regards to this drug. And Britain has hailed this as a massive breakthrough for treatment of severely ill COVID patients. Dexamethasone is manufactured in South Africa by Eskom, and its CEO believes there should be enough supply to meet demand while they're expecting this massive peak. And in my previous article that we did, I said that we haven't seen this massive peak that they are speaking of at this stage. The medicine only costs from around 149 Rand an injection, and this is regulated, so I think the top price is somewhere around 170 Rand. A cheap steroid which is available from 149 Rand an injection in South Africa has been hailed as a breakthrough treatment to reduce fatalities among severely ill COVID-19 patients. Dexamethasone has been proven to reduce deaths by 1/3 in patients on ventilators. So this is just specifically to people that are really bad. Someone on a ventilator is close to death's door. Okay, the University of Oxford said in a statement on Tuesday, it reduced fatalities by 1/5 among those who received oxygen support. So 1/5, that is 20%. So 20% of people become better. So this isn't, in my mind, a huge breakthrough, but I suppose anyone that sees himself as on death's door, when any amount of people can be saved, it would be seen as a good thing, especially if the treatment is fairly cheap. The finding came from the world's biggest trial testing existing treatment on COVID-19 patients. So I don't know how long they've been treating people with this drug, or how long this trial has been going on. But there were 11,500 patients involved in this trial. And and it's been done in 175 UK hospitals. So it looks like mostly this trial has just been happening in the UK, and that has been the focus point. Okay, and that 2,100 of these 11,500 patients were receiving a 6 milligram of dexamethasone once per day. So Prime Minister Boris Johnson hailed it as the biggest breakthrough yet in the UK's coronavirus fight. The thing that I want to question, they carry on speaking about the CEO and what he has to say about the drug. Obviously, there's a lot of money to be made. And if every person that has COVID-19 needs to be treated with this, obviously there's a lot of money to be made. But relatively speaking, this is a cheap drug if it's 150 Rand a shot. But if you have to get it every day, I mean, the money starts to pile up, and I'm not sure exactly who is paying for that, but if you can save a life, it's probably well worth the effort. The one thing that I want to question, and that should be really concerning, is the efficacy. In other words, the success rate. It says, while daily doses of dexamethasone could prevent 1 in 8 ventilated patients' deaths and save 1 out of every 25 patients requiring oxygen, the steroid had no effects on outcomes among those with mild cases of COVID-19. So it's only people that are on oxygen or on ventilation, so they're in a severe state, that would benefit. But I mean, 1 in 25 is 4%. That is highly a massive breakthrough, in my opinion, when we know that there are other drugs that have been used, if you start treating people early on, that are more effective. Now, the question is, did they use these other effective drugs in the early stages of COVID-19 in these patients? Did they actually use this treatment? Or did they leave these people to deteriorate to this point and then start using this drug? So I know hydroxychloroquine has been tested to be effective early on, okay, not later. This drug has been tested and is proving to be better later rather than earlier. It says that there is no tangible effect on people that are affected early on. So I suppose 4%, most people that are at death's door will take a 4% chance of survival. But I don't see this as a massive breakthrough, and we certainly need to work on something that is a lot better than that for us to be able to say that a major breakthrough has been made. But it's good with any disease that trials are done, that people try to understand what the disease is all about, and then that they go ahead and do trials on various things. And I mean, people that are at death's door will try anything to stay alive. So I will keep you updated on this. I will actually look at the specific history of this drug. I know it's been used for a very long time, so this is not a newly developed drug. It's been used to treat leukemia, terminal brain tumors, as recently as 2016. After Merck and company discontinued production in South Africa, the health journalism organization Becker Kisa reported at the time. So those people stopped producing the drug, and Aspen is producing the drug now. And they say that when COVID-19 hits its peak, whenever that is going to happen, because we haven't seen evidence of this yet. And I like to look at evidence. That evidence might come, and we'll see about that. But at this stage, there is no evidence of that. They say they will be able to meet that demand. So in treating people that are severe, I don't know how effective this has been in South Africa. It's interesting that drugs manufactured here, but then shipped to the UK to help patients over there. And 1 in 8 people, which is more than a 10% efficacy, and those on oxygen, and those that are being ventilated, 1 in 25, which is a 4% chance. So I suppose most people would take their chance, but I wouldn't call that a massive breakthrough when I know we can treat people early on with drugs that has a very high success rate. But those specific drugs have competition from drugs backed by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and companies that they are involved in. So the drug hydroxychloroquine has become like a swear word to a lot of people. Now, I'm not saying the drug is effective or not. I know that many medical professionals have said that they've treated people very successfully with that drug. So there's a lot of research that needs to be done and a lot that needs to be seen. But I know that large companies play large company games, and we need to keep our eye on the ball, see what these people are doing, how they're trying to make their money, and whether it justifies what they are doing now with regards to the amount of people saved. Maybe we should be looking at something else. It's far more safe to help those patients that's at the end. Remember, most of these patients have comorbidities based on the stats that we got from the Western Cape. In majority of them, more than 3 comorbidities, those that die. So far, there's very few people with no comorbidities that actually end up dying that have contracted the SARS-CoV-2 virus. This is an interesting thing. It is something that is still taking shape in front of our very eyes, and I will be scrutinizing every article and every trick in the book that these big corporations come out with, and the efficacy of what they're doing. I will question that. Why this drug was only tested in the UK? Why have they not spoken of a test over here? I ask all these questions and I try and figure out what is going on behind the scenes. And I have many people on the ground that I speak to get the real truth behind why this was put in mainstream media, because that is the right question to ask. And this is in Business Insider South Africa. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. We are over 9,200 subscribers now. It's still climbing towards 10,000. Please hit the bell icon so that you can get notifications on new videos. There will be more videos. The first from the snippet series that will be available tonight. There will be at least 3 of those being made available, and I look forward to sharing the next video with you.